Hi there everybody, welcome back for another game review. Uh, Man, how are you guys doing? Good? Good. Good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. So today, which I'm sure you already know since you probably read the title, but if you didn't, today we're going to be going over Ghost of Tsushima. Going through my review list, which I had set up in my previous video for Death Stranding, and just giving you guys a layout of what the game is like, what to expect, and yes, that is what we will be doing today. So, let's kick it off with our normal start, the start you're used to after my one video. Let's start with gameplay / mechanics. For the gameplay mechanics on Ghost of Tsushima, there's really nothing quite like it that's out there. I mean, to a point, that's kind of incorrect to say. You know, there is a lot out there that's like it, such as, the Batman series, Mad Max, any kind of game where there's just like a button that you click to dodge and stuff. But this one specifically was really great because, being a samurai adds in a whole new kind of feel to that element of playing a game, because doing it with a katana and actually, being someone that wields that kind of weapon was really amazing, because it also gave you the ability to dodge. You could dodge and roll if you wanted to just get out of the way, and if you wanted, you could also parry. So you could actually block with your sword, and if you click block at the right time, you could either do just a regular parry, which would just kind of like get you away from their blade, or you could do a perfect parry, which is where you block perfect timing and then just slice them back with like this perfect, one slash down, which will do a lot of damage for the most part. Also sometimes kind of terrifies people around, depending on what kind of suit of armor you're wearing. But so it was very, very unique in the sense of who you were playing as with those mechanics. Mechanics were same, but the gameplay was much different. You also down the line learn how to use a bow and arrow, which Sony Interactive I feel like is kind of well known for at this point, with just kind of like Horizon Zero Dawn. It was almost that same-esque with shooting the bow and arrow. Not exactly, because they changed up some, but just, that first person, solo adventure where you get to use a bow and arrow as well. So you got the katana that you could use, blocking, parrying, slashes, learning secret moves that I won't tell you because I don't want to spoil that. You get the bow and arrow, a short bow I should say, and then you go all the way to long bow once you play long and hard enough. Once you play more into it, you get the long bow eventually, all the way up to, these ones are kind of spoilers, skip ahead a couple minutes if you want, or a minute or two. You can get up to poison darts, like a blow dart thing. You get special ninja weapons such as like a kunai you can throw at people to break up their defenses, smoke bombs that you can toss down to run away and you can hide from people, all the way up to, what other ones did they have? They had the kunai, they had the smoke bomb, they had other stuff. Oh, they had sticky bombs that you could use. You could use distraction weapons such as wind chimes or firecrackers. Firecrackers draws a large group, whereas wind chimes will only draw a single person in. And running around this entire huge map of Tsushima with these beautiful textures was all fantastic. And then getting into one of my favorite parts of the game, standoffs. Standoffs you get into, you'll just be riding and then you have to press up on the D-pad, and once you do, you walk up to the people holding onto your sword. You have to hold triangle, and then once the person comes in to hit you, you have to let go of triangle. And then after developing that power a little further, you can actually keep, people will keep running into you, and all you have to do is press triangle when they get close enough and are about to attack you. You press triangle, slash him, another guy comes running up, raises up his arm to attack you, slash him as well, press triangle. And you can do that all the way up to having like 5 people running at you and doing that, and it's really cool. It's a lot of fun. Again, you get like terrifying mechanic to it. Once you develop your certain powers down the line, it only gets better from there. It really does. And another cool thing is duels in the game. You'll run into these situations where you're dueling somebody specifically just one on one. And one of my personal favorite things about the game was the fact that every time it started off a duel, you would see the other person opposite of Jin Sakai, which is the main character's name. You would see them pull out their sword and then, do kind of some flashy thing, or they're just like getting ready and stuff. And then all Jin ever did every single time was just stand there and then use his thumb to pop his sword out of his hilt. As soon as it popped out of its hilt, the duel starts. And it's going off. Jin's about to fuck some shit up. So that was it was a wonderful game, gameplay wise. It really was. I had always been hoping for something like this. I'm sure plenty of people have, and it helped that Sony Interactive was a part of it. Also, they were helped with from, I think it was developers, Sucker Punch, which they were very impressive. Sucker Punch is very impressive. They do a great job with their work. I'd have to check exactly what else they do, but and here I am quoting that they do excellent work. They did excellent work on Ghost of Tsushima, at least, so I can stand by that. So for the story, you follow Jin Sakai, which is kind of the last of clan, well, not the last actually, sorry, but it starts off, and this is at the start, kind of spoiler warning, but this is at the very start, it starts off the plot of how you get to, go running around doing what you're doing as a solo samurai. You get invaded from Mongols, specifically this man named Koda Khan, and you, along with your uncle, Lord Shimura, go riding down onto this beach to fight all of these samurai. And once you get down there, you fight them all, and then Koda Khan ends up beating the shit out of Lord Shimura. He just whoops his ass. And then you think that he kills him, but in reality he just takes him hostage. And then you get dragged off of the beach by this woman, Yuna. She saves your life. And you go and you find your sword, and then you start to learn all your tactics and stuff, and grow back up, and you realize that the Mongols took over the entire island. So then you have to push through, the entire island, capturing these certain parts, meeting these different side characters, such as Masako, and this one sensei that you meet that actually teaches you the way of the bow. And you go through all these storylines, and in general, though, it's just you trying to push up to, these certain castles. So in the first castle, it's like Koda Khan holding Lord Shimura, which, like I said, he had captured him, so then he's just kind of holding him. And then you push through that, and then you just keep pushing through, doing that kind of stuff. The story was very fantastic. I can't, I don't want to go into too much because I don't like spoiling the story for you guys. I want to hope that you guys can kind of look at this as like a spoiler-free thing. Some of the mechanics I kind of explain more into because I want you guys to know what you're getting yourself into. But story-wise, I just want to lay out what you're doing and why. So that's pretty much the what and why of the situation, is that you're just pushing through trying to take back your island from the Mongols as the last member of Clan Adachi. So, Clan Adachi? I think it was Clan Adachi. Clan Sakai. Maybe. I don't know. Don't quote me on it. Some of the parts are still rusty. But, yeah, story was fantastic. So now we're going to break into my next two, which is playability and who the game is made for. I would definitely say that the demographic that this game was more after is people that are fans of Sony Interactive and what they do, because it was very much just built around that same thing. I had jumped from Horizon Zero Dawn to Death Stranding and then over to Ghost of Tsushima. And for the most part, those are all three developed by Sony Interactive. So it was kind of like I was getting pretty used to that style of gameplay and that style of story and, all of that kind of stuff. Death Stranding being the one exception, but that's because, that's a Hideo Kojima game. If you guys watch my previous review, then you would know what I mean with that. But Horizon Zero Dawn and Ghost of Tsushima are very similar in a lot of senses and very fantastic. You know, having a character that one of my favorite things is a character that doesn't really get tired. You have endless stamina. Is it very realistic? No. But is it a lot of fun being able to just run everywhere that you want to go? Yes, rather than having to worry about stamina and this or that. Because stamina at times can be quite annoying. So you kind of are just like a super soldier in a sense in both of those. So for people that enjoy that kind of game where you're just like a super soldier running around, you know, fucking everybody up and stuff, and you know, honing in on your skills when it comes to what they call in the game ghost weapons and your blade and your you know, armors that you upgrade and your bows that you upgrade and all that, you know, then this game was definitely made for you. There's a lot of good RPG elements added to it, honestly, and yeah, I believe RPG. I should probably look that up. But yeah, so the playability is also very fantastic. Once it ends, you know, you even get to continue your story on. So you get to, you know, again, they pull you back to a certain, same thing that they did in Horizon Zero Dawn. They pull you back to like a certain save spot type deal, where they just allow you to keep playing the game, and then you can go and finish whatever you need to do. And so yeah, like the replay value is also amazing. They just added New Game Plus to it, so you can go back through and play with all your stuff. Like I'm definitely gonna go back through and do that again as well, just to get really involved into the story. But you know, yeah. So playability was fantastic. I will definitely say that. The replay value fantastic. All around, it was a great game that you'll want to play multiple times through, not just the one time. I can guarantee it. So, for those of you that don't know my rating scale, I'll kind of just do a brief run through at this point. But you know, hopefully, you guys watch the first video because that'll make it a lot easier for you when it comes to knowing what I mean when I'm talking about. So 1 is not good. It was hard to even finish the game. 2 was not that great, but it had decent ideas and it had, you know, very interesting ideas to it. 3 was decent, but it was missing still, like, you know, a couple. Like, that's the main thing, is that it was missing like a couple of things, missing too many things to make it a 4. And then 4 was that it was a all-around great game. Well, not all around. That it was, well, it could be an all-around great game, but that it was just missing something to make it 5 stars. It doesn't even have to necessarily be bad if it's 4 stars, but it just missed something to make it fully perfect. And then 5 stars out of 5 stars, obviously, just perfect, all-around great game, and it left you wanting more. For Ghost of Tsushima, I would honestly label this a 5-star game. I really would. I would label it a 5-star game for, you know, these reasons. For the fact that it left you wanting more. It kept making you, it's going to make everybody that plays it, I'm sure, come back to the sequel, which I'm sure they will make, because they're making a Horizon sequel, so I'm sure they'll make a sequel for this one. People will be all over that one. This one was fantastic straight through. The story kept me going. It was great. You know, it was just great. It was addicting. Like straight up addicting. The mechanics had never been seen before. Well, not the mechanics, but the gameplay had never been seen before with playing as a samurai through this kind of way. And the side characters were all fantastic. You know, they gave you truly great stories. And, you know, I shed a tear or two while playing it. You know, it really dragged some good emotion out of me. So all around, I would give Ghost of Tsushima 5 stars. I'd recommend it highly to anybody that is interested in history, because, you know, like, if you're a history buff, I mean, who doesn't really like learning about samurai and stuff and learning about, like, you know, old type stuff like that. I'm personally one of those people that likes shows like The Deadliest Warrior and stuff, to watch all of these great warriors through our time, you know, fighting and stuff. But either way, samurai, along with that, you know, some of the greatest warriors in history, and just another great, you know, addition to Sony Interactive's huge collection of fantastic games. So that's my review, and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to be coming out with, I'm going to kind of be transitioning with my next video into talking about comic books as well. I'm going to be talking about the Trinity War. So hopefully I can put the link up above, but if it's not above, then just go look on my channel, and within a day or two, I'm sure it'll be on there. So if you guys are looking forward to hearing about that, and if you haven't even heard about the Trinity War, if you're looking forward to getting refreshed on it, or if you never even heard about it, I would definitely recommend checking it out. If not only, listening to me talk about it, then go and read it yourself, because it's, so far, from what I've read, it's fantastic. It leads into a fantastic storyline with Forever Evil. And yeah, so I will catch you guys soon.